How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more Brawl here on MTG Arena today. I mean, this is questionable to keep, but you have a 1 and 2? Maybe. I'm going to keep it. It's probably a bad choice, but you never know. ECD, not what you want. Do it upon it. Cast a Mana Rock. Gotta show off the Counterspell early so my opponent thinks I have it. I don't, though. Double Strike. Okay. Sure. Not do that, though. Have some maps, and they're just as good as Exile base card draw. Okay, third land. Teferi? Or not Teferi. Urza. They're very similar. Blue-white guys that really messed up the timeline. Yikes, okay. Well, I'm still getting hit for 1. And we are 1 mana off Sunfall. And Sunfall is going to take out our own guy, too. Yikes, okay. Sphinx is for 1. Nope, can't even do that. GG, maybe. I shouldn't have read. Read. Urza in the deck. I didn't put his Meld card in. He's just kind of there to make our Wrath a little bit cheaper. I guess I block 3 damage. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I feel like I can survive 1 more hit. I feel like I can. Urza's gotta live. But I want them to cast their commander, give it haste, make a bunch of tokens, and then we Sunfall. Yikes, okay. There's a haste enabler. Yeah, I counted this out. I think I can take this damage. It was very close. Maybe a little too close. Sundering Titan can go. Take everything, hopefully? We still die, though. So, if our opponent has a goblin under 5 mana in their hand, they can do... But actually, they can't tap it right away, right? Like, it needs to sit on the battlefield for a second. It needs to sit there for a second. Okay, well, that makes things harder for me to live. So I can ECD away the Krenko, but then I die to the dude. Huh. And a value extra less. We kind of need to turn this on, which means we only have 3 mana to work with. And alchemy has screwed me over again. GG. Bit of deflecting there. We don't really care about the alchemy, okay? We don't really. GG. We are back for game 2. We are 1-1, and we are also, again, up against goblins. Why are there so many goblins? And we're keeping a 2-lander again. Repeat of last game, although this time, we actually have a fetch land, which will parlay into an archive, which will find me land number 3. Yep, okay, never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Morningstar. We're actually against the same Krenko. I thought we were up against a different Krenko this time. Same guy. He's just wearing a different coat of paint. It's a lot tinier in this one. What's up with God, you don't even try it, opponent. I would not exert into this mana color combination. Don't do it. Convince you that it's probably not in your best interest. Alright, we'll do the litmus test again. I have a counterspell, opponent. Believe me when I say these things. Gonna go to blue source. No more Scrylines. This is sadly 2-color. I haven't forgotten about the card draw challenge. I thought that this would be a good option. But it ended up being more of a control-y build than like a card draw centric build. We can play that commander now, because I'm gonna Supreme Verdict it. It won't have haste. Actually, it will have haste. But this is kind of what our deck does against aggro decks sometimes. Sometimes we're sad, and then sometimes we just kind of crush. And I think this is going to be a crush, even though our opponent is ahead on lands. Blue land. Give that Gobbo some no power, and then Supreme Verdict him away. I guess we must have missed land drop. Yeah, we missed one, right? It feels like we haven't, but are we getting exerted opponent? Then he would have at least been able to attack it. Yikes. Okay. Well, Arcane Signet. Bye-bye, Krenko. Second one that got lost. He really needs to stop getting lost. But he then... Krenko is a native of Ravnica, right? So... Fair enough. Ravnica is basically an Ecumenopolis, right? Like a city world. And that means I can't even imagine getting around in that. So I have 2 Wanderers and a Nugan in my pocket. And a Teferi in the hand. Or in the command zone. Forgot about you, but... It's a very good 1-1 opponent. Ouch. Do we hit Jace? Or do we hit me? I feel like me is probably the better answer, but I kind of know my deck, so... Alright. We're not drawing cards yet, but... And we could have. We could have played Teferi. Ignored Krenko. But I feel like the Wanderer making old Krenko uncastable is probably worth investing in. So their opponent has 7 land to our 4. And if I draw a land next turn, we just hold up. Final Showdown. Shalik Mons. Dies. Okay, well that's gonna... It's gonna knock off the Wanderer. No good, no good. At least we're still at 20 life. Ugin also will be kind of hard on the... Alright, we have the plan. We make one of these. Spent 0. Give Pashalik Mons a downgrade. Hope they cast their commander into a final showdown. I don't know. I feel like part of being a good control player is finding the meanest possible line and pursuing it with all haste. Right? Like our poor goblin opponent has been playing their commander nonstop all game. And we're just like, how do we ruin this for them? It's a catch-22, I think. Where are we attacking opponent? Yeah, let's not that one. That one? The wrath on your opponent's combat step is rough. You're gonna get 2 more goblin triggers. 2 more of this guy. Pashalik Mons. 1 more. Come on, Arena. I know you can do it. You've been much more stable since I spent a day fiddling with you. Yep, 3. I guess they're all going to chase. No, 1 win at chase, 2 win at very cool. Phyrexian Goblin. Have you considered, opponent, that I might have a blink card?
I'll help any way I can.
Yep.
I bought us some time.
Mill some cards. Let me draw some Sundering Titan. This is this is kind of bad against monocolored decks because we end up having to destroy 2 of our lands to get a mountain, which isn't great, but against the 5-color green decks, it's really good. Oh, opponent. Mistakes were made. Either we don't have the mana to equip, do we? Oh, that's not going to endear yourself with me. Let's get rid of the Forge. Let's blink the Krinko. Does it stay in the blink zone, or does it go... Okay, it stays in the blink zone. Okay, well, that's not good, opponent. Because you don't get it back till the end of your end step, which means I'm just going to do it again. Oh.
You're coming with me.
I would send it... Okay, well... Beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. GG. We got there with the control. We are back. Final match, probably, of the day. Keep. Auto keep this one. Swords against Tajik. One of the only ways to get rid of him. Although I guess our deck is kind of blinky based, so it doesn't really say too much. Don't really want to Swords the dog. He's a cool lad. I'd rather our opponent crack the dog to cast their commander, and then I swords their commander. But at this rate, it looks like we're going to wash away the commander. Because we don't really have to worry about anything else happening. Yeah, Warrior's Call kind of scary. As the turn. I'm going to stop here just in case it happens. Limit the amount of creatures that hit our opponent's board state. Resolve. Gain a life, opponent. Next turn, I drop the commander. I wanted to, I guess, but I'm going to keep up commit. Keep our board state relatively the same. Because I would have played Teferi there, put the dog in the library. But since we didn't draw untap land, yikes. Okay, no. Let's not do that. You are drafting too many cards upon it. Can't keep up with that, okay?
I know what must be. Let's skip to the good part.
I was gonna tuck the dog, but since we drew the No More Lies, we might as well just hold up that. Because Teferi can be plinked for 1 every turn, as long as he ticks up. His loyalty stays the same, right? Nah, I don't think we did that one either. Like, they could play a land, play a haste creature, and then I'm kind of sad, but we had to stop our opponent from gaining value. I'd say our control plan hinges on them take action, remove perpetual effects. Play one of them. Don't really want any of those, but guess you don't return artifacts, and I don't have any creatures, so we'll keep the Grimoire because we kind of have life gain synergies in our head at the moment. This, because if we play this and then Sphinx's rev for 5, uh, do this. I want Sunfall, I think. Exile Tajik again. Set up for a turn where I play my commander. Any target. I guess that's me. Play this. Tuck that. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a haste or burn spell. You gotta have creatures in there somewhere. Although, with the amount of conjuring going through, there might be like a conjure gimmick deck. That could be kind of cool. And if that's the case, they wouldn't really need other creatures. Take action. One of them. Sure. This could be a really good Sphinx's Rev, or it could be our opponent hates in a Goldspan Dragon and we're very sad. Don't play anything. Okay. I was a little concerned there. But we got there in the end. GG. Well, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.